Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I have a Horizon guide for you. A lot of people had asked for this video, and at first I had said no, but obviously I've changed my mind. And I ultimately wanted to take enough time to figure out her abilities, get comfortable playing her, and then come out with the guide. I didn't just want to make a super basic guide. To some of you, it may be a basic guide. Some people always say that about my guides, but I can't really make a guide where it applies to everybody because advanced players aren't really going to need a guide and new players are going to need a lot of info. So I try to stay somewhere in the middle. If you like the video, slap a like. If you don't, that's cool as well. If anybody's new here and isn't already subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing so you don't miss out on my next upload. And the way it's going to go down is I'm going to talk about her abilities. I'm going to explain the best ways I think you can use them. And I'm going to give you play-by-play analysis of a few different fights that I got into. So let's get into it. All right, so Horizon gets her gravity lift, which is her tactical. She gets that every 15 seconds. That's kind of similar to Pathfinder's grapple in the previous seasons, early on in Apex, which was when Pathfinder was at his best, if you ask me. And the gravity lift lasts for 10 seconds. So you could use the whole tactical for 10 seconds and have it back in another 5 seconds. So it's a pretty quick cooldown. Now in these two clips, I like to use the gravity lift to get out and heal, to reposition and heal. I'd rather have it for that than use it to get close to an enemy without my teammates near and end up, overextending or overcommitting. It's also good to do things like this where you just take high ground on the lift and you're able to, clean up the fight a little bit or get some shots off on your enemies or whatever you have to do. You have accurate aim when you're up at the top of the lift. Now, without a doubt, I think the best part about Horizon is the gravity lift. I think the fact that it has such a short cooldown and it lasts for so long makes her probably one of, if not the best mobility legend. Really good solo player, really good team player, and she can basically do what Pathfinder and Octane can do. I mean, not completely, but basically. Now in this clip here, using my black hole to buy some time because I did get Krabered in the air, so I know I have a small window to heal. Once I hear her pushing, I throw my Q down because I know she'll run into it and it'll mess up her aim. So right there, I got the first shot and we end up trading, which is a very unique thing in Apex. But if I didn't kill her, she would have definitely tried to thirst me because she was a solo. And solos are always going to try to thirst the kill because they're pretty sure they're not going to be able to 1v3. Now in this clip here, I'm going to show you exactly how to use her Q. I'm waiting for my teammates. Now, one calls out that they're cracked. My teammates aren't close, so I send it anyway. I see the Loba here, so I'm going to take an isolated 1v1. Once I knock her, I'm going to drop and hit a battery. And once again, I'm going to peek up, make sure they don't drop on me. And I do have a gold helmet here, so I get my gravity lift back even sooner. So I hear them rezzing, I'm going to throw it down, create more chaos, then I knock the Loba again. The lift is still going up, so back up I go. And then I'm going to look to finish up the fight and try to win the game. The fact that I could take high and low ground multiple different times in that fight makes Horizon a little unhealthy for the game. The gold helmet thing makes her really crazy, and so I'll be looking out in the future for them to potentially nerf her. Because I think a 15-second cooldown on the lift might be a little too much. So we will see. But they only make nerfs and buffs based off of win rate and your 1v1 rate, which I think is silly. But if more people get good with Horizon, if they're not already, the numbers could get stacked and show that she's doing really well. So they may look to nerf that. And I would guess that's the first way that they'll nerf her if they do. I did recently read that a dev had posted on Reddit saying that they're really happy with how Horizon came out. They don't think that she's overpowered, and they don't think that she came out useless. As you know, some of the previous legends upon release were not very strong. So it is nice to see a legend come out off drop, be pretty good. The way I think that she's unhealthy for the game is this. If she throws her black hole to an area that is condensed with somebody and they spam nades, which is probably the best way to use her ultimate, I think it's pretty bad because you literally can't avoid it unless you're Wraith and you phase out. That's the only way out. And this is what's happened to me in a lot of high level ranked lobbies. This is what good Horizons have figured out. That if you see somebody in a condensed area, whether the ring's to their back, they're in a building like here, or whatever the case may be, if they are unable to avoid being sucked into this void here, and this person has 3 or 4 arc stars or a thermite and an arc star, I mean, it's a GG. You can't do anything. You can't move, and you're just getting eaten alive by grenades. So I think that is pretty busted, but without the ability to spam nades, her ult is very situational. It can be like decent, and it can be not that great. You'll see here, I use it as kind of just to block off an access point. I don't end up doing any damage, but it buys me some time to res my teammate who goes down. So it's good for that sort of stuff, but tactically, I don't know. It's kind of a weird area. It's like situational with contingencies. So it's kind of unique. Now the Horizon ulti can be destroyed. It takes 175 damage, but the hit register on it is kind of funky. It takes a couple seconds, I've noticed, for it to actually start registering you're shooting it. There are also some sound issues involved with Horizon. They seem to have improved from the start of the season, but the black hole was definitely causing a black hole of sound as well, which I don't believe was intended. And also the gravity lift kind of has wonky sound, so sometimes you don't hear people and they could just float up on over you, and then yeah, it's just kind of a GG. And I'm not sure if you noticed last season, but they lowered all of the train carts in Train Yard, and they never mentioned anything about it. And it's clear to me they did that because it is basically the exact height for you to reach it from the gravity lift, which I think is a great map change, because Train Yard was always super annoying because of how high up the train carts were and how annoying it was from people who were playing that high ground. So I'm actually happy that they did that. If this guide helped you in any way, guys, and you're not already subscribed, I hope you will consider subscribing. And once again, if you enjoyed the video, slap a like on it. Let me know what you think about Horizon in the comments down below. I'll check you guys on the next video. Peace.